All right, glad to have you back on the last lap of the program this fine morning. We have with us in our studio Chiamaka Bobby-Umeano, and today she'll be talking about how to respond to job interview questions. You might just be lucky you're going out for an interview today. She's here to give you some tips on how you should perform very well and perhaps clinch that job you so desire. You're welcome to the program, Chiamaka.
Thank you so much.
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while. So now, I don't know if there are skills in answering questions, because I think the most common question is, tell me about yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And then we begin to talk. You have told us how to respond to that kind of question. Is it different from answering the typical interview job questions?
Not at all. They're the same thing, because the idea is to sell yourself. And remember, a job interview, most of us always think it's, okay, go there, present yourself, present your facts, and talk. But I always say, no, it's more than that. It's an argument. In fact, it's a subtle confrontation, in the sense that you have to convince the interviewer the reason why it should be you, why he should employ you for the job. Because, I mean, if you're employed and you do the job very well, it's also a kudos to him or her. And so it's an argument. So go out there with that mindset that you're going there to convince them. You're going there to prove yourself beyond what you have written down in terms of your resume or your CV.
A word almost jumped out of my mouth while you were talking. I wanted to say, is it by force?
Well, it's not by force. That's why I said subtle confrontation, in the sense that, okay, well, you're not the only person that had applied for that position, actually. There are many other people, and they've been trying to sieve out what they need from what they don't need. And here you are, and we want you to tell us about yourself. What is your unique selling proposition? What are you bringing on board? Perchance you're not the first person to occupy that position, in the sense that it's not a new company. And so probably we've seen so many project managers. So why do you think you fit in? What is it that you are bringing on board? Remember, the idea is to increase sales for the company, increase customer satisfaction, and also make the company progress. So what is it you're bringing on board to contribute to all of this? So that's why it's a situation for you to prove yourself.
I've been involved in some kind of editing of people's CVs, and when it is time to write the, is it called the request or the offer letter? I mean, I call it offer letter now. When they want to write the application now, they will now fill it with so many information, like the issue of their age. Sometimes they mention some things they've done, their skills. I'll be like, that should be in your CV. So what should be contained in that letter?
Are you talking about the cover letter?
The cover letter, that's what I was looking for.
Because already your CV or your resume has details of your qualification, your job experience, your educational background, and so on and so forth. So your cover letter should be like an introduction, you know, paving the way for you first, before they now probably have that interest to say, okay, call up that CV, let's see. And now I'm taking it a step further. This job interview now, you're bringing yourself. Remember, when your letter gets there, you're not there. They've read everything and they've digested all they need. Now the interview is more like an avenue to weigh your communication skills. So all those questions they're asking, okay, where did you school? What did, of course, they already have it in paper, and they have probably read it through. Now they want to know how you are able to engage customers, how you're able to project yourself, be yourself, especially when you remember the fact that most jobs are demanding, and they want to know how you can face pressure, how you can handle difficult situations, and sometimes they ask difficult questions. Some would even ask you, so how long do you intend to stay with us? And you hear people saying something like, okay, well, I'm waiting for my visa, so this work will take me like the next 1 year or 2 years before I travel out.
Is that wrong to be sincere?
It's wrong.
To be sincere.
To be sincere.
It's sincere, but I mean, every company is in their need of stability. And recruitment is expensive. It's even stressful for many companies to keep recruiting. And so they need somebody who is there to stay. And if you're telling them, okay, I have just 1 year and then I'll check out, bet me, I think they would look elsewhere.
So now the topic is how to respond to job interview questions. And people might think it also cuts across the written interview questions, but we're basing, this is just for oral interviews.
Exactly.
I'm looking for, are there shortcuts, are there nuggets you can tell us? Because sometimes we might be having in mind that when we get there, they will ask you, tell me about yourself. So we're already rehearsing what we're going to say before we get there. And then we get there, it's a totally different question. How do we go about, that?
Okay, the first nugget I will give is to say that desperation kills. Desperation kills the deal. Desperation frustrates the reason why you are there. Yes, we know that probably you've been out of job for a long time. You don't have any money in your pocket, and so you need this job like yesterday, the way we say it. Please do not let that show. Because if you do, once your recruiter is able to sense that you're desperate, it wouldn't do too good for you. So the best thing is, in as much as you know you need that job, just keep it to yourself, be yourself, and
but for you to be there, you need the job.
You need
to be there.
You are, the point is that there's a certain level that you get to, and you know that, okay, well, I have to say everything to convince them. I have to dance to their tune. I have to sound like the person they want to hear. For instance, I've heard an educator say that they do not employ teachers who have the H factor in their spoken language. So, I mean, let's assume you already have that at the back of your mind, and you're working and you're trying to prove that, okay, well, you're more English than the Englishman himself. That's desperation. I might work against you. Yes, we know you have this challenge, but you can as well be yourself. Who knows? Besides that which they are not looking for, if you're able to connect with them, they could consider you for that job, and then have that plan, okay, when we bring her in, we're going to take her through phonetics trainings and all of that. Why? Because you were yourself and you were able to bring out something else.
Some other qualities.
Yes, that they liked, and they take you on for the job. And again, another thing you need to know is that it's not just about the words. Because if it's an oral interview, yes, we know, but the moment you step into that room, your body language begins to either work for or against you.
Let's end it there, Maka. I would continue with this perhaps next week, only if you have another topic for us to share with you next week. Well, thank you most kindly for this tip you've given to us. So if you're out there looking for a job, and you've heard what Amaka said, talking about responding to job interviews. Do not be desperate. Go there with confidence, and just don't show too much of yourself, but just be yourself. And who knows, you might just get that job you've been looking for.
But before we wrap up, I just want to put it on record that we've done everything possible to get the Amusun's camp to talk to us on this particular issue. Probably after now, they will respond to our invitation so that we can also have their own angle to this particular story, and especially the Imo State faction too. We know there are two factions there, so we want to hear your own view on this. We've been extending that invitation to you, and you can be part of this discussion. Yes, you can be part of it. Tomorrow is our open day, but meanwhile, as we sign off, Today on STV is up next. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.